President seemingly there, Heidi, a little bit more confident and positive about possible growth going into the future. Earlier, I spoke to Oxfam, which has just released a report on the gaps, on the levels of poverty and inequality. And the lady I spoke to from Oxfam, Heidi, was saying that labor, the way the labor market is organized in Africa and the tax regimes of Africa and social spending are key in terms of helping us to really deal with challenges. And I know that at the World Economic Forum and this morning at that breakfast, there were economists, there were other government ministers who attended. What else was said this morning?
Exactly. So interestingly, what we heard from Thabi Leoka, an economist that we regularly have on ENCA, she made a very good example by saying that South Africa is a beautiful home, but it's very dirty at the moment. You have parents fighting with each other. You have kids bickering and fighting with each other. Dishes haven't been washed for a very long time. And she used this analogy to explain that the house needs to be cleaned up before we invite guests into our home. And the president is crying out for foreign investment. The president is crying out for local investment, for the private and the public sector to work together to bring in that economic growth, to bring in the much needed jobs, and to deal with the major issues that we have with our state-owned entities, yet there is no proper cleanup. Other issues being brought up about how femicide needs to be addressed urgently, not just speaking about it, not just saying it's an issue, men need to change their approach as to how they deal with things, but something actually needs to be done. There needs to be proper implementation. So that was the message that was brought across by leaders, business leaders, as well as economists at this breakfast this morning, and also bringing in the fact that South Africa is losing investment. This year alone, South Africa has lost 63 billion rand of investment from foreign investors, and that's more than we've ever lost in just 9 months. The most we've lost was in 1998, and now we've lost all of this in just 9 months, just this year alone. So there's an outcry for implementation. There's an outcry for immediate action to be taken when it comes to economic growth, when it comes to our major issues, when it comes to the tax on foreign shop owners and femicide in this country.
Thank you very much. ENC's business reporter, Heidi Jurkus.